Howdy, Hacksters! We have another contest for you this week. This one is very exciting to me because it's robots, but also because it's for public health. So this is the UV Robot Design Contest from Micron. As you probably know, we're in a pandemic right now, but there's a number of different ways to combat that, including with UVC light, which is a type of high-frequency radiation. You've got UVA and UVB, which usually you see on sunscreen bottles, but UVC is an even higher energy version, which we'll look at in a second, which is able to actually destroy the RNA inside of viruses and other pathogens, and thus prevent them from doing all their bad stuff that they do. Naughty viruses. Anyway, let's take a look at the contest. First up, there's a ton of prizes to be won. Everyone loves robots. You can read the challenge at the link below. I'm going to skip down to the part that I think is most relevant, where your challenge is to design a remote-controlled or autonomous robotic system. So this could be something that requires a remote human operator, or it could be something that operates completely automatically. It has to be highly maneuverable and use UV light to sanitize a wide variety of surfaces and areas. There's some examples actually below at the bottom of the contest. The target cost should remain under 10,000 USD, so we want it to be vaguely affordable, but it's targeted toward areas like small businesses, nursing homes, and other entities. For this one, it's a little bit unusual. Often in our contests, you'll be asked to produce a prototype, and you'll be judged partly based on that. But in this case, you actually only need a solid design in order to be considered. So, as they note at the bottom of this paragraph, a design with lots of supporting documentation to make sure it'll actually work, and contest conformance so that it actually addresses the contest goals, may score better than a prototype with little documentation or lower conformance. So focus more on developing a design that really is usable, workable, and effective compared to having a prototype which doesn't necessarily actually accomplish your goals. Design from the ground up, or use existing open source resource hardware and software solutions to fully document your project. So it doesn't have to be everything from the ground up. You can use off-the-shelf parts and things. Just try and keep the cost under 10,000 USD and make it all work together. There's some more information on UV here. You can also look up ultraviolet germicidal irradiation on Wikipedia. They tell you a little bit about ultraviolet C as well. UVC is a specific frequency band of ultraviolet radiation between 100 and 280 nanometers. Now, of course, this is damaging to humans. So one of the contest's parameters is that it has to have a way of operating that is safe for humans. We don't want human beings being exposed to this and causing even more problems. There's a couple of examples again at the bottom at the bottom of the contest, below the prizes. Background information on germicidal irradiation of viruses. There's also a couple of example environments. So you don't have to choose one of these. But, for example, a meeting room. You need to be able to sanitize a wide variety of surfaces. I've seen purpose-built robots that, for example, would just be a containment chamber that sanitizes whatever's inside it with irradiation. In a case like that, you need to make sure that every surface of the object is going to be exposed to the UVC light. If it's only you place an object on a surface and then you irradiate it from above, then it's not going to actually be cleaned on the surface. So we want to have, there's actually a really cool picture here of what such a robot might look like, using reflectors and things in order to expand the horizontal surface coverage and a lower vertical breadth of coverage. So in these examples, you would have a fairly tall robot with a 6-foot range for a targeted kill dose of the radiation, just to make sure that it actually is effective, because of course the intensity of the light is going to decay as distance increases, so you need it to be able to actually deliver an effective dose of radiation over the intended range. They suggest using distance and vision sensors like a camera, laser, IR LED, ultrasonic sensors, etc. to monitor the environment. You need, well, first up, to make sure that you're sanitizing everything correctly, but also to prevent human exposure, as well as robot collision and damage. You don't want these things running into each other or other things, and you do want to make sure that the area is clear. After the robot in this example has finished sanitizing a room, it will notify the operator that the job is complete and then shut itself down. Again, you can do a remote control robot or a completely autonomous one. It's up to you. They also have an example bathroom going into each of the stalls and things like that. Example robot, and a bunch of reference articles for you to check out. You don't have to come into this being an expert. You can learn from the reference articles and still be sure that you're going to be able to address the core proposition of the contest. So, fun stuff. Prizes. Grand prizes. There's 3 top prizes. First place is $10,000. Second place is $5,000. Third place is $2,500. Not bad. Plus, there's a few different categories. We have 3 categories. One focused on innovation, excellence in engineering innovation. And each of these folks actually will be winning 4 1 terabyte solid state drives from Micron. So you get 4 terabytes of SSDs. That's pretty cool. So the first one is innovation excellence. The second one is best in automation and control. So you people who are really great shakes at software and programming will probably do a really good job with this one. And then best in safety features. Of course, this is a huge priority for this contest in general, but whoever comes up with a really good safety mechanism or system is going to do well in this category. And you can get 4 1 terabyte solid state drives. Not only that, but if you're one of the first 25 qualified contest entries, remember that's qualified contest entries, but just by being one of the first 25 to submit a qualified entry, you get a whole bunch of cool Micron swag, including one of these neat backpacks. Details of the contest. Submissions close in 38 days, so you have the entire month of August plus the rest of July to develop your design. Again, for this one, you don't even have to wait on parts. You don't have to order anything. You don't have to wait for everything to come in the mail, which is a huge pain right now. You just have to come up with the design. And you have 38 days to do that and document it, and then you'll be eligible to submit. And if you're one of the first 25, again, you get some cool swag. So let's see. I think we covered everything. But yeah, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat now. I can see them. Check out the links in the description below. As always, this is the UV Robot Design Contest with Micron. You can also always go to Hackster.io/contests and just scroll down for this one, Community Contests, UV Robot Design Contest. We've got a ton of other cool stuff going on, as always. There's another one actually by Arduino called Touch Less, Do More, which is exactly what it sounds like. Design Arduino solutions for interacting with things, people, and places in a post-COVID world. I'm not sure we're post-COVID yet, but and anyway, UV Robot Design Contest. Check out winners from past contests if you want to see what judges generally like. These are different judges than before. Like, we don't have a single panel, but you can see what kinds of things tend to win points. And again, the more you adhere to the contest guidelines and produce something that's really exciting, the better you're able. Oh, I wasn't actually showing you the contest page. It's right here. There we go. Hackster.io/contests. Yeah, the more closely you adhere to the guidelines, the more you are likely to be eligible to win a prize. Again, the emphasis is on producing an affordable design under $10,000, something that's effective and something and actually adheres to the rules. There's also a separate rules tab here. So check out all of that, and happy hacking. We hope to see your submissions soon. And again, you have until August 30th to submit. Matt says, what are the parameters around the UV lights we're allowed to use for our robots? I haven't delved too deeply into the rules, but for this, you definitely have to use UVC because that is the frequency band that is actually effective in a germicidal capacity. That's what you actually need in order to disrupt the RNA inside of the viruses and break them down so that they're not harmful. And actually, the page that I brought up before on Wikipedia showed a little bit about that. The ultraviolet one, you can read about ultraviolet C, and you can also read this entirely separate Wikipedia article on ultraviolet germicidal irradiation. But when in doubt, scroll to the bottom of the contest. Here we go, overview, scroll down, and you'll be able to find all these resources and reference articles that really explain what people are looking for. Any other questions? Yanni says, robots to safety and security, so a next-gen Archimedes would surely be helpful. Yeah, you could make your robot look like an owl. It might not be very effective. You probably need some pretty big ultraviolet tubes in order to be effective for this contest, but who knows? Get creative. All right, thanks for watching. Good luck in the contest, and as always, hack on. And I made my screen go to sleep, so I can't end the broadcast. There we go.